All right, 49ers fans, buckle up because the latest developments around San Francisco are nothing short of electrifying. You know that feeling when your team does something that just defies expectations? That's exactly where we are right now. Some of you are eternal optimists. You can't help but see the glass as half full when it comes to your team. I get it. I'm the same way. But then there are the realists among us, the ones who immediately notice every possible obstacle, every potential snag, and every what-if scenario. And honestly, that's part of the beauty of following football. There's room for every perspective. You can be hopeful and cautious all at once. And that's exactly what makes these discussions so fascinating. Let's dive into the fact that the 49ers are currently reshaping expectations in ways that some critics probably didn't see coming. And I'm not just talking about the obvious wins on the field. I'm talking about recognition from voices that are historically tough on the team. For instance, when a commentator who typically leans critical starts giving praise, that's worth noting. Even those who have consistently spotlighted negatives can't ignore the strides the 49ers are making. We're talking about rankings and opinions that traditionally skew against San Francisco. Yet now the team is starting to earn top-tier placements. That tells you something about the progress being made, about the level of play that is demanding acknowledgement from even the harshest critics. Consider the way recent power rankings are reflecting this momentum. While some publications have kept the 49ers static, others have jumped them several spots in the rankings, indicating that what we're seeing isn't just a fluke or a lucky streak. It's a trend grounded in performance. Week after week, the team has shown resilience, the ability to grind through challenging matchups, and moments of brilliance that shift the narrative in their favor. This isn't about one game or one star shining. This is about a collective rise that's forcing national attention and recalibration. And yes, some games have been tough, with hard-fought wins that were far from perfect, but that's exactly what you want to see. The 49ers are proving they can adapt, they can survive adversity, and they can capitalize when opportunities arise, no matter the circumstances. One player who embodies this resurgence is Fred Warner. If you've been following the defensive stats, you know exactly what I'm talking about. His numbers are through the roof right now, and they're not just numbers. They're indicators of impact, of someone controlling the game and influencing every play around him. When you start comparing these stats to his career highs, the scale of his performance becomes undeniable. It's rare to see consistency like this combined with explosive potential in the same season. Warner is doing more than just hitting the numbers. He's redefining the standard for what the 49ers defense can accomplish when the leader of the unit is firing on all cylinders. Tackles, quarterback pressures, passes defended. He's making an impact on every level, and it's elevating the entire squad around him. And it's not just Warner. The rookies and newer additions are stepping up in ways that are becoming increasingly hard to ignore. Take Michael Williams, for instance, a young edge rusher, still finding his footing, but showing glimpses of the elite talent he was drafted for. The way he's learning on the fly, adjusting to the speed of the NFL, and still producing in high-pressure situations is remarkable. It's a testament not only to his skill, but to the coaching and the system he's entering. The 49ers have a knack for taking potential and turning it into productivity, and Williams is a perfect example of that. He's not just filling a spot. He's contributing to a unit that's evolving week by week, one that's capable of disrupting offenses, creating turnovers, and changing the momentum of games in a heartbeat. The defensive line, in particular, has been a story of depth and adaptability. With the absences and injuries that inevitably come in any NFL season, the 49ers have leaned on young talent and strategic rotations to maintain pressure, set the edge, and keep opposing quarterbacks off balance. The emergence of Jordan Elliott as a pass rusher, the effectiveness of players like Khalil Davis and Sam Okwonu, and the way the team has integrated new contributors without missing a beat speaks volumes about the culture of this roster. There's a certain rhythm developing on defense, a chemistry that's often hard to quantify, but impossible to ignore once you watch them in action. The combination of veterans performing at elite levels and younger players stepping up has created a dynamic that makes the 49ers a formidable opponent week in and week out. And let's not forget the strategic nuances that have gone into player development and rotation. For instance, edge setting and containment are not glamorous stats, but they are game changers. Michael Williams' ability to consistently force offenses to account for him, to limit running lanes, and to provide the framework for other defenders to thrive is invaluable. That's what separates potential from impact in football, the ability to translate individual skill into team advantage. And it's happening in real time. The 49ers coaching staff is clearly doing something right when rookies are learning at a pace that allows them to contribute meaningfully in high-stakes situations. Even in the face of injuries to key players like Nick Bosa, the team is finding ways to absorb the blow and maintain competitiveness. The timeline for recovery in cases like this is challenging, yet the 49ers are balancing immediate needs with long-term planning. The presence of young talent and the depth chart flexibility means that the team can sustain performance while waiting for stars to return. This combination of patience, strategy, and immediate execution is rare, and it's allowing San Francisco to stay in contention while developing the next wave of talent. It's an exciting time to watch this team, not because everything is perfect, but because the challenges they're facing are being met with resilience, creativity, and performance that consistently surpasses expectations. Whether it's an individual making a career-best impact, a rookie learning at the speed of the NFL, or a team collectively defying projections, the story here is one of adaptation, growth, and opportunity. And that's exactly why following this 49ers squad is so compelling. Every game, every play, every stat tells a story of a team on the rise, a team that refuses to be defined by predictions and instead writes its own narrative through action on the field. Now, as we dig deeper into what makes this 49ers team so fascinating, it's impossible not to highlight the impact of the rookies and young contributors. Players like Mike Williams, Alfred Collins, and C.J. West are not just placeholders on the roster. They're actively shaping the defense in ways that are visible every snap. Williams, in particular, has been on a steep learning curve, yet he's already producing results that make a difference in games. His growth as a pass rusher is noticeable, from initial struggles to a steady increase in win percentage, and it's clear he's adjusting to the NFL speed at an impressive pace. But it's not just raw talent. It's situational awareness, effort, and the ability to respond to in-game adjustments that are setting him apart. And while the rookies are taking the spotlight in some areas, the veterans are still setting the tone. Fred Warner continues to be a force in the middle of the field, playing at a level that puts him ahead of most of his peers in terms of influence on both run defense and pass coverage. The way he combines physicality with intelligence is rare. He's reading plays, adjusting the line, and making tackles that change the flow of the game. His current trajectory, if it continues, suggests one of the most dominant seasons of his career, and that has ripple effects across the entire defensive unit. When your linebacker is performing at that level, it allows other players to take calculated risks, knowing there's a safety net that can make or break plays. Then there's the edge-setting concept, which has become a hallmark of this 49ers defense. Michael Williams, for instance, is tasked with maintaining containment, ensuring quarterbacks can't escape the pocket and shutting down the run outside. It's a role that doesn't always get the headlines, but has a massive effect on game outcomes. When you watch the 49ers execute these responsibilities properly, you see opponents forced into predictable plays, turnovers, and missed opportunities. And the brilliance lies in how seamlessly this is executed, especially considering some of these players are experiencing their first NFL season. The combination of instinct, preparation, and coaching is creating a unit that can perform at a high level even under challenging circumstances. Nick Bosa's injury is, of course, a big storyline. A second ACL surgery is never easy, but the 49ers are navigating it with careful planning. Recovery timelines for repeat ACL injuries are tricky. They can extend beyond a year in some cases, but the clean nature of his tear and the team's medical resources offer hope for a strong return. Meanwhile, the 49ers are evaluating the roster and considering whether to make moves to bolster the defensive line. While a high-profile acquisition is possible, it's not an immediate necessity, as the current roster, supplemented by emerging talent, is holding its own. The balance between short-term competitiveness and long-term roster health is delicate, but the 49ers have managed it with poise so far. It's also worth noting the strategic decisions surrounding player usage and rotation. The coaching staff has been intentional with snap counts, ensuring that rookies like Resurgence and Michael Williams gain meaningful reps without being overexposed. This gradual immersion is vital because it allows them to build confidence, understand the speed of the professional game, and develop consistency. Even players who have seen fewer snaps, like Upton Stout or CJ West, are being given opportunities to contribute in specialized situations, which maximizes their development and prepares the team for a range of scenarios. The depth of the 49ers defense is complemented by versatility. Jordan Elliott, for example, is emerging as a pass-rushing threat while also contributing to run defense. Kalia Davis, Sam Okwanu, and other rotational players are producing quietly but effectively, proving that impact is not limited to marquee names. The defensive line is doing exactly what a championship-contending defense should do: apply pressure, disrupt timing, and force opponents into mistakes. When combined with the linebacking core and secondary, this creates a unit capable of controlling games and shifting momentum at critical moments. Meanwhile, on the statistical front, the team is performing at an elite level in key metrics like expected points allowed per dropback and per rush. These numbers reinforce what fans are seeing on the field. The 49ers defense is not just holding steady. It's exerting control, influencing offensive decisions, and creating opportunities for turnovers and stops. This kind of dominance doesn't happen by accident. It's the result of coaching, preparation, and the maturation of young talent alongside experienced playmakers. And speaking of young talent, the narrative around Michael Williams and his role as a situational pass rusher deserves attention. While his primary task is edge setting, his development in pass rush scenarios has been impressive. He's increasingly capable of winning one-on-one matchups and creating pressure without relying solely on blitzes or stunts. The fact that he's balancing these responsibilities while continuing to develop physically and mentally is a sign of the 49ers' long-term planning paying off. They're building not just for the current season, but for sustainable competitiveness, integrating rookies into high-impact roles while maintaining performance across the board. Even when evaluating specific matchups, the results are encouraging. With Williams on the field, opposing running backs are averaging just a few yards per carry, illustrating the effectiveness of gap control and containment. These are the subtle contributions that often go unnoticed but are critical in controlling the line of scrimmage. It's a reminder that football is as much about execution and discipline as it is about highlight reel plays, and the 49ers are excelling in both areas. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The NFL world is buzzing this morning with one of the most shocking and electrifying whispers of the offseason. Sources close to the situation suggest that Shadur Sanders, the talented and highly touted quarterback, has made a monumental decision. He has reportedly accepted what insiders are calling an irresistible offer from the San Francisco 49ers. While nothing has been officially confirmed, the rumor alone has sent shockwaves through fan bases, analysts, and locker rooms alike. Sanders, known for his poise in the pocket and uncanny ability to read defenses, has been on the radar of multiple NFL teams since the end of his college career. Rumors of trade talks and contract negotiations have swirled around him for months, but it appears that the 49ers may have pulled off the coup of the offseason. The details of the deal remain murky, but sources suggest that it includes a combination of guaranteed money, performance incentives, and perhaps most enticing of all, the promise of a starting role in one of the league's most dynamic offenses. Fans of the 49ers are already daydreaming about Sanders lining up behind the offensive line in Levi's Stadium, envisioning him threading passes to the likes of Christian McCaffrey and George Kittle. Analysts, meanwhile, are scrambling to assess how this acquisition could shift the balance of power in the NFC. Could this be the move that finally propels San Francisco back into Super Bowl contention? The speculation alone has reignited discussions across sports networks, podcasts, and social media platforms. Of course, the situation is not without its skeptics. Some insiders caution that while Sanders' talent is undeniable, the leap to the NFL is never guaranteed. Will he adapt to the speed, complexity, and physicality of professional defenses? Only time will tell. Yet the sheer boldness of the move has everyone talking. The rumor has reignited old debates, stoked heated arguments, and, most importantly, put the 49ers back in the headlines for all the right reasons. Whether this deal is fully inked or simply a strategic ploy to dominate media attention, one thing is clear. Shadur Sanders has made a splash, and the NFL offseason just got a whole lot more interesting. Fans everywhere are now watching closely, waiting for the next confirmation or twist in what could become one of the most talked about signings of the year. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.